NFL bets for week 11. We're back fronting up after a brutal week last week, going down 4 units just for the week alone. But look, God only gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers, so here I am, ready to make things right, ready to get back on track. So last week's underdog was 1 unit to win back 4.7 units, 3-legger, Buffalo moneyline, Chargers Dolphins over 44.5 points, and then Rams Seattle over 52.5. So with that Buffalo money line, that was one of the all-time bad beats, brutal loss. Arizona on the last play of the game, Kyler Murray Hail Mary to DeAndre Hopkins, so there's really not much more to address with that game. Then Chargers Dolphins, that 50 points total scored in that game was pretty entertaining. Then the last one, Seattle Rams. The Rams showed up after the bye like I thought they would, but can't say the same about Seattle. They only put up 16 points. Russell Wilson was awful again. I thought they would bounce back after the terrible performance in Buffalo, but back-to-back weeks now of really poor performances by Seattle and Russell Wilson. So there was the loss for that. And the book it, we put up 3 units for that one. That was Cleveland moneyline, Baltimore -7. For both these games, the weather was a disaster. Firstly, in Cleveland, there was a delay to the start of that game due to lightning. It played into Cleveland's hands. They were able to run the ball and get it done in a low-scoring game. Then in New England, it was monsoonal type conditions, and this played very nicely into the Patriots' hands. They were able to bully the Ravens, run the ball down their throat. Damian Harris was a monster, and they not only covered the spread, the Patriots, but they were able to win quite comfortably outright. So now this week, firstly the underdog, we're putting up 1 unit to win back 6.5 units. We're taking New England moneyline. We're taking Cleveland, Philadelphia under 47 points, and then we're taking Dallas Vikings over 47.5 points. So with the Pats money line, I'm now starting to believe in them a little bit. I think they could go on a mini run here. They're playing against the Texans, who I spoke about last week against the Browns. They can't stop the run. The Pats' strength is being able to run the ball with Damian Harris, so I think they get the job done here against an awful Texans team. Then the Cleveland game is they're at home again. It's meant to be terrible conditions. Rain is predicted. The Browns love to run the ball. They love to slow down the game, control the clock. I can't see this game being a shootout. And on top of that, Philadelphia, my team, they stink. It's getting harder and harder to watch them each week. Just watching their offense, when they have so many talented guys, they just can't piece anything together. In saying that, there's every chance the Eagles could win this game. But I don't think it'll be a shootout. Again, I like the under 47 for that. And then finally, Dallas, the Vikings. Been very impressed with the Vikings. Clearly, Dalvin Cook's the man, and they can just run the ball down anyone, it seems like. On top of that, they can also throw it. So Kirk Cousins, when he obviously doesn't play in prime time, and he has his 1 p.m. or late afternoon slot, he seems to always perform much better. They are at home. He can throw the ball to Thielen and Jefferson, so they have those weapons that they can utilize. And then on top of this, the Dallas side of things, they're coming off a bye. They looked very feisty against the Steelers. They put up 19 points. They could have potentially put up more. So I really do like the over 47.5 points here. I think there's a lot of value. I would like to think this game will end up being in the mid-50s. And then finally, the book it for this week, we're putting up 3 units to win back 3.6. We're going Colts plus 7.5, Dolphins plus 3.5, and Kansas City minus 2.5. So with the Colts, they're a really physical, tough football team. I like them to bully the Packers. Packers have really struggled against other tough teams. Ones that come to mind, Packers didn't show up against Tampa, they were killed, and they got embarrassed at home by the Vikings. So I really do like Indy at home to be able to get this one done, and worst case scenario, they'll lose by less than a touchdown. Then Dolphins plus 3.5. They're on the road in Denver, so Denver are a terrible team, but they're more likely to play well at home. That's why I like taking Dolphins to, if they do lose, it won't be more than a field goal. Their defense shows up week in, week out, and I think worst case scenario, as I just said, is that the plus 3.5 will ensure that if the Broncos somehow play out of their skin and win by a field goal, we still win the bet. So take that. And then the final leg, Kansas City minus 2.5. They're at the Vegas Raiders. That's an indoor stadium. Last time the Kansas City Chiefs played the Raiders, they lost at home. So I like a bounce back game here for Kansas City coming off a bye. The Raiders have picked up a nice couple of wins, so they'll, in my opinion, be a little bit overconfident. I like Kansas City to come in here and win quite comfortably. I think this will be a high-scoring game in the 60s, but I like Kansas City to win by at least a field goal.